Welcome to Cities Skylines Campus. This is the new DLC that was released in May 2019 if you're watching this in the future. And in the previous video we spent a little bit of time building this initial city. We've still got a long way to go before we can start building the specialized university campuses. And just to show you what because our next big milestone is not Busy Town, although that's got some fairly useful things in it. What we're really after is Big Town, because Big Town has got the high density residential, commercial and office. And this gives you a bit of a dilemma. When you get a city gets up to around this size, 3,000-4,000 people, and you want to double it, it's very tempting just to keep whacking out lots and lots of new residential area. And what you end up with is a fairly big urban sprawl. And it's far better just to let the city run like it's at the moment and just let it upgrade. So you can see here, so the city's upgrading, it's upgrading quite well. The education is kicking in. I mean, we can give it a little bit of nudge by putting in maybe a clinic. If we put a clinic out there, that will create a nice big happiness zone. And the other thing I would like to do is get a bus route in so that we can improve the public transport, keep the traffic under control. I mean, we're still getting a little bit of demand for residential. And what I tend to do in this situation is just start, you can say, fill in the corners for the moment. So we're just going to drop a little bit of residential on here, and just along here and along here. And this is literally just, I'll say, filling in the corners. It's just keeping the whole population fairly tight. I mean, I could come out one more way this way here. In fact, I probably will. I'm just going to come out another area here, because the other thing I also want to do in this part is start laying out some more specialized industry. And our first target is going to be farming over here. Just to show you guys, the natural resources, we've got a really good farming area here. We got some ore over here. We got a little bit of forestry. I probably will think about building a forestry specialization over here, because this isn't particularly that flat. So we've now got this area here, and I could push out the residential a little bit more here, but that's filling in quite nicely. And we can just drop a bit more in there. And maybe what we need to do is push a road over this way, hook up to that, so that residents from here can get down into this small industrial area. And the other thing I want to do is just suck up a little bit more of this generic industry for the moment. I need the money to build a bus line, because I can't remember one. Yeah, we're gonna need 40,000 for that. And I could just keep laying out the roads. I know I'm spending money that I should be saving, but I think we can actually, we could come out. Actually, let's just in a little bit more commercial here, because that people on this side will cross over with these junctions. I think one of these junctions is wrong as well. I actually spotted it. This one needs to be that way, and that one needs to be that way. There's more of a flow of traffic through here. And this is one thing that does annoy me. I know there are mods to stop parking, but so that's absorbed that. And notice we've got a little bit of water up here, which is good. I mean, how is the water here? Power's getting a bit low. What's my budget's like? Now, I think we can go to about 110% with the electricity. Water's probably slightly different. My inclination would be to, if that gets a bit low, what we're looking to do is put in some more water intakes. I mean, what I will probably be doing is moving the water intake up to about here. So we've got a little bit more demand for industry. So because we've got a bit of demand for industry, I'm going to talk about it. Now, since the industries DLC, there's actually two types of industry, and I'll see if I can remember how this is. You've got the generic industry or specialization of a farming industry, which is this here. Then you've actually got the garbage and industry here, and what you've got now is, if you come into here, what we got here, we've got forestry. I thought this was unlocked. Yes, is it unlocked? Okay, I thought this had been unlocked. Forestry. Maybe the industry specialization hasn't been unlocked yet. Let's just have a look. No, that's not the one. I thought it was unlocked. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit rusty on this. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, we've now got, well, whatever it is might be unlocked anyway. So that's the new buildings. Let me just look here. So we got the oil industry specialization. That's the old one. So down here, new buildings. We got here riding stables, ferry bus exchange, geothermal power, that could be useful, and a medical laboratory. Okay. And I think what we got to do actually, yeah, what is it? Commercial specialization, industry specializations, office specializations. That's generic. Ah, there it is. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, brain shut down a little bit there. As I say, I'm a little bit rusty with there. And this is the industry area here. So, what we can do is just paint in this area here. I'm just going to paint in an industry area here. Now, this is the specific industry that was introduced with the Industries DLC. I can't remember when it came out now. What you can do there, now there's something what you can do now though, is if I come back to find it, now what you can do is, sorry, back to here again, go away, stop giving me advice. Now what you can do is come to, where is it? Paint park area, raise area. What you can do now is paint another district over the top of it, like this. This may seem a bit of a contradiction, guys, but you paint another one over the top like this, and it will make sense. And we'll just make this a little bit wider like that. And then if I come to here and click that, what I've done is overlaid the two industry models over the top of each other like that. But before we get into that again, what I'm going to do is, well, no, we're going to, do I want to lay a bus route in? My instinct is to get some bus services up and running, and maybe we do. I think we're going to go with the biofuel like that, and just get a bus route in. And with bus routes, guys, always try and plan circular routes, and don't feel you've got to cover every nook and cranny of roads, because what happens is people will walk to bus stops to get the items they need. So I think if we come to about there, and another trick, guys, is if you're going to put a bus stop in, keep away from key junctions like that. So what you want to do is come to about there and a stop there. And maybe we don't really need to come around here, so if we put a stop in there, put plenty of stops in, but don't get too carried away. I think my instinct is to come up to here. We've got the high school there. Actually, I think we can come in like that, and maybe just come up, add there, and connect that one up there. And what we will do is go back the opposite way. And what you want to do is try and avoid putting bus stops opposite each other, and that applies in real life as well as in Cities Skylines. It's one of the most annoying things you can find, especially in the congested cities in the United Kingdom. I mean, I could put one there, but I think we'll go from there. Let's say people will walk if you put it there. And if we come up to here now, what we can do is color code these in. Wait for the default color. You can see you've got lots of control on here. You can specify night and day services. I'm going to be completely honest, guys, I've never ever used that. Because by putting in a bus route, even if the people do not use it, that bus route will add a little bit more depth to your happiness. We've now got this area up here. We've got a bit more demand for residential, so it's going to spread the residential out this way. And what I'm going to do is put another little block just about there. So we're going to have to push the water out this way. So it's going to come that way. And I don't really want the industrial traffic coming through. I'd like the industrial traffic to be on this road here. But at the same time, we're going to have to put a... I want that. Oh, I've got the upgrade tool. And what we're going to do is now push this into here. So that's going to cost us a great big wad of cash. And actually, I think what we're going to do is bring another road out like that, and maybe a little smidge further, and hook up into there. And what we're going to do is be a little bit of a boring farming scenario. That's not. And what we're going to do is just hook in that there. And what we're going to do is zone in stuff like this. Oh, that's not exactly square, but then again, who cares? And what you will see is that after I've put the water in, you can put this in across like that. Oops, water's dropping. Okay. I think with I've got the money for it. So let me just sort of pause, guys, because we're in none of those crucial moments. Just whack the power supply in there. We need to put some more water supply in, and what you'll find is that the capacities are roughly the equivalent in the early stages of the game. So what we're going to have to do is put in another one of those. That's 2,500. I'm a bit inclined now to move one of these up like that, and we'll just hook the... No, I'm not. If we bring this out like that and then come in like that, of course we're going to have to put a power line in just to hit about here, and we'll just start it running again. And what you should see now is the water will go off the chart, so you can then take advantage by dropping this down a little bit. And then we need to keep an eye on our cash, because we're probably going to run into a power problem. And what I'm going to do now is put a... You can see this is building up, absorbing the demand for industry here. And I think what we're going to do, guys, is... let me see, industries we need to find. This is a main farm building. So what we're going to do now is just going to mix in a little bit of the... You can see this is now opened up this. We've got small grain silos, small animal pasture, small crops, small fields. So get out of that. So what you can do is mix the two industries together. And to me personally, I think it looks pretty cool actually, because you've got the farms here of these people here. And then what we could do is... And then we could just drop maybe we can put a couple of silos in like that, and come back. I don't think we got fields. And then just to make it look a little bit more attractive, we can, and I've just blown all my cash, which is not a good idea. So you can see we've now got this mixture of the specialized farming in here with the base farming specialization, which is, I think, it's available in the vanilla game. This is the specialized farming comes from the Industries DLC, but by mixing the two together you can get quite a cool effect actually, and I think it actually makes it look a bit more realistic having those buildings here. Of course, what we're going to need to do is get some people up here as well. So what we're going to do is here, and I think we start up here, and just going to, and what I'm going to do, oops, I've gone the wrong way. And what I'm going to do is just build a simple loop, because I don't want too many people going up to the farming area. And what we're going to do is just draw people from this area and make them come into here. And this is what you could call a single loop. And the advantage of this is that people will travel up to this area, and of course eventually the residents will grow up this direction as well. I mean, we could put, we could be a bit cheeky here, guys, although we're going to have to zone it in a bit. I can come into here. This is where we got to be a little bit careful, because if I zone this in, you will see this will affect the farming area. What we could do is just put in a little smidge of this area here. Then what we will classify, we've done it as a tourist specialization. What we're going to do is put that in there. And I'm just going to put in a couple like that. Just check there's, yeah, this needs to come out a tiny bit more. Like that. Then what we can do is pop in a whole area like that in Lilac Square. That's actually explains why that hasn't connected up. And then what you will get is this area acting as a commercial area to support the people moving out this way. And we've got a little bit of residential command, so what I'm going to do is, I think it's time to open up things a little bit. So we're gonna, I think I've just moved the bus stop and just check. And sometimes you've got to be a little bit careful. Nope. Maybe we'll just put another bus stop there, another one there. And what we can do now is, now the reason I've put this in here is that this is a 30, yeah, this should be a 30. Nope. And what we can do is bring this road out like that. And I know I'm going to disturb the residents, but it'll be okay. And what we should be able to do is, oh, come on, game. I find it quite useful just to take off the grid with the footpaths. Come on, connect. That's still not okay. Turn it all off. It used to be a lot easier to connect to footpaths in the past, and then they made some changes with this gridding and things got a little bit more trickier. And then what we're going to do is grow this through like that, this, and this across like this, and this like that. So we'll just fill this area in like that. What that will do is it will grow the workforce out in this direction to support the farming area. And what you'll see here, that farming, this area here always suffers from not having uneducated workers. I mean, there are ways to fix things in so that you can have uneducated workers by zoning up an area and then saying that you don't want these people to go to higher education. And given the changes to education in this DLC, that might be actually quite important. So what we could do is we got a zone over the city here. What we could do is just zone in this area here and maybe just zone over this way a little bit. In fact, I've made a bit of a mistake here. I should have zoned this first. What we're going to do is do that, and then residential, we're going to make him, that should stop these people from moving out. But what we should be able to do now is click on, come out here, click on here. I'm not sure whether the policies are actually unlocked now, but we will have a quick look through. Education boost, schools out, this is what I'm looking for. Citizens will prefer working in over education. So what we're going to do is put schools out in there. And the other thing we'll do for city planning is we're going to put a encourage biking, and we're also going to put a heavy traffic ban on there as well. That's going to stop trucks deadheading through here. And we're going to do exactly the same here. The policies. We got, oh, we seem to be working on the city level, which is could be a problem. Okay. Let me just check this. Policies. I think the one I'm looking for isn't available yet. Old Town. There we are. And what we're going to do is make this into Old Town. And what that will mean is that the only vehicles that can move into this area will be what that will mean is that the only vehicles that can come into these areas are vehicles which need to get here, so there'll be no rat runs through here. I just want to check this. Yeah, so this is heavy traffic ban, schools out, a bicycle thing. This one is, this is going to have Old Town bicycles, but it's not going to have the education as well, so that should work. Let's have a quick look at the city. What you can do actually is apply some of these to the whole city. Looks like these two have already been applied to the whole city. I think we'll take that off the whole city. I don't particularly want the whole city having a heavy traffic ban. That would make life a little bit difficult. I think you can just apply there. Just double check, guys. Yep. We've now got the city growing up quite well there. This area is settling down a little bit. And just to check any farmland, we still need to build up a little bit more. There's resource production workers, so we probably need to put in a little bit more over here from the point of view of industries, just to get it up and running. I don't think, oh, water shortage, what's happening? Water availability, okay. Looks like we've got a power shortage that's then causing a water shortage. We need to deal with the power, so I'm just going to pause the game. So we need to deal with the power first. Wait, pause. We got anything that's geothermal? How expensive is geothermal? This will give me 80 megawatts. This will give me 40. But this is going to cost me 65,000. Wow. We could drop that. I mean, it'd be great to go to a green environment. Maybe we can drop that out here. And hook up. Yeah, we're hooked up, so we can just. That should then solve that problem. So you can see, so the water problem was a result of the energy problem here. And I'm not sure. Oh, probably because I reduced the budget, so we're going to have to increase that a little bit. Smidge, get that done, up and running. So our water's running up quite. I'd like to move this up to there just for the moment. So we've still got quite a big demand for commercial, and for my instinct is to maybe we'll start getting a little bit more environmentally protected. I'm just going to push this out a little bit more, maybe a little bit this way. I do want to stay as environmentally friendly as possible. So I think we can a little bit more commercial in here. I'm just going to speed the game up a little bit because we're going to be here forever. Maybe just smidge that in there, get that up and running. Of course, the next thing we need to do is check education. So we've still got a little bit of capacity there. We're a bit low on the high school, so probably need to put something down from. We do want to keep the education going. Got public library, Institute of Creative Arts, Prodigious School, Community School. So that's got a student capacity of 800. I'm going to go for capacity over style at the moment. I mean, the style will come later, guys. Sometimes you've just got to go with area here, and of course that's got to be in a place where there's no water. Right, so let's just, if we come down 440 here, hook in like that. That's up and running. What's the population now? We're running at 6,000. So we've got to get to 7,000 for the next one. So just trying to look for places which will help. I mean, everyone's upgrading quite nicely. Let's see what their requirements are. Make sure education facilities have potentials. Yeah, see, education's everything for driving up your level. So eventually this will building over here, as the students arrive, they would come in here, and what we could do is I think to help the process along, what we're going to do is drag this bus stop to here, and this one as well, going back the other way. Maybe, yeah. Drag you back to there. And this is another way that you can manage things rather than just whacking in lots and lots more bus lanes. It's better to manage the ones that you've already got so that they actually bring more people in towards your cities rather than trying to do something. This is a tram depot. We're not big enough for trams at the moment. Yeah, so that's an example of how you can get your residents walking in, get more people to the high school. So you can see that's now building up quite nicely. You've still got a job situation over here, so I think what we're going to do is, and we've got a bit more expansion in this area, so I'm going to keep expanding this area here like that. So everything back on again, and let's start to do something a little bit different now. Let's just, you can come there and strike you off there like that, and maybe we'll just whack in like that, and of course we have some trees that will make everyone feel a bit more happy about their world. And what we can do is just drop that in like that. Oops, no, I don't want that on that corner because we don't want the noise pollution there. It's just, if you guys are not aware, you can see the noise pollution here. The noise is related to traffic. This is another reason why I'd put in the heavy traffic bans, just to keep everything nicely flowing, nicely regulated. think maybe we can drop a parking on this corner, and maybe another one here. I want to push your population's happiness back in a few parks. That's always good for shots. I mean, we could, right, that's now dropping down quite nicely. We've got a little bit of an interaction here, but the noise is not going there. Let's have a look at the traffic situation. There's average traffic flow 94%, which is good. Getting a little bit of a build up over here, but all the main industrial traffic is using this road here, which is exactly what I wanted. They're all keeping out of this area here. The biking policy is probably starting to work pretty well. Let's have a quick check at our valley farmlands. We're not really producing a lot of resources, so what I probably need to do is get in here. I mean, it does take a little while to get a little bit of momentum here. Small crop field. I mean, we can put maybe well, we can build it up here a few like that. Maybe another one over here, just to keep building that farm level up. Can do. I mean, one of the downsides of these type of industries, unless you're consciously laying things out in a way that makes the roads look kind of more villagey, you still tend to have a bit of a grid effect. I mean, we could put something in there, and maybe we can put a orchard in there. What can I get in? Yep. So that should start to level up this farm. Still getting demand for commercial. I mean, we could level out a bit more commercial here. Again, I'm still a bit reluctant to expand down towards the river just at the moment. So maybe we'll just absorb that extra capacity with this. You can come out to the river like that. I mean, we can put some more generic industry in over here, but I don't really want to put any more in than necessary. So all I want to do is get to 7,000, and then we move to okay, I'm gonna crack under the pressure a little bit. Fine. Don't really want generic industry that side. So I think we come out like that, and maybe we can something across like that, and what we'll do is just drop in a bit of a there, and check the water situation. Yep, we're going to need to bring water through like that. That should then fit in here, and just speed the access up. What we'll do is, for the moment, we'll just make a footpath across there. It's not going to stay. That's just so that people in this area can actually get across here. Have a quick look at the bus lanes. No. There we go. What I'm going to do is make that. Oops, I don't want that. Why is that going up there? Okay, we've got a bit of a double dogleg loop here. Okay, well, that's because this bus stop's here, so I move that to there, move that to about there. So what we've now got is the beginnings of a looping system. So what I can do now is put another bus. So we'll now make this into a two-way affair. Oops, I've got water shortage there. Just going to pause because I don't want that water shortage to damage. But I think this one doesn't need to go up as far as there. That can then come back to there, and I think we just come to that one there. Not too many bus stops here, so just take out that one. And we've got a bit of a water problem over here, but it's only because the pipes are missing. I'm gonna run that. I think that should fill in quite nicely. Still getting a little bit more residential demand. Where can I put a little bit more residential in? I think what we could do is just put a few people in along this line here. I mean, it's going to work with the school. Put a little bit more there, and I suppose what I could do is just a few more along here, leave that gap there, and probably going to come out to about here, but I want to leave a gap here in case I want, well, which I most likely will want to do is bring a road out here. In fact, I think I'll put it in. I'm actually thinking about it. There's that. That come out that way. And that should start to absorb that residential requirement. And just check, make sure everything is under. Oh, that zone needs to be brought out a little bit this way. Maybe this one can come out this way to feed the farming industry. That's pushing up towards 7,000. We're losing a little bit of population. Probably because people are getting a little bit unhappy. What we could do is see if we can drive anything here that will. No, not. Let's just give everyone a little bit more of a shove. We got a nice botanical garden here. Nothing much down over this way, is there? So I'm just gonna. Oops, that's too big. Can do this is a nice small one. That will push up that there, and get another little park over here. And of course, when you're laying out parks, don't neglect your industry areas. Look at it from the point of view that these are areas that people on their lunch break are going to come out and sit in the park for a little while. Although you will see that this will very quickly deteriorate. And I think I've just put a. Oh, it's a dog park, so anyone who's got a dog in the industrial area can come out and show it here. Still getting quite a lot of demand for commercial, so I think what we're going to do is push this out to be self-sufficient, but maybe we need to just put in a little bit more. I mean, if we hook you through there and you through there as well, and you can come in a little bit like that. What we could do then is just wodge in commercial there like that, and a little bit more over here like this. That should absorb. I want to leave the sound barrier there, and oops. And what we're going to do is have a quick education check. Elementary school's doing well there. Public library, this is capacity, users capacity 100%. So yeah, we got a nice coverage of public library there, which is helping the educated. Happiness is good. Yes. Oh, that's not happiness, that's health. This is happiness. Generally, we've got a couple of unhappy people here. Why are these unhappy? Of course, I'm getting these messages because these are the first time I've opened it. Crime's probably looking pretty good. So why were these people unhappy over here? No level up info. Okay. I mean, how's the 70? Actually, what I do need to do just before I wind this video up, trash is 89%, so we're going to need to get to our. And I can put a recycling plant in, but We could put a recycling plant, say, just in about there. I'm very reluctant to put down another landfill site simply because you've got to empty them. And we've got the money for this. We could put... I think what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to drop a recycling depot in there. That will get a few more trucks out. That will deal with the garbage. Of course, the real benefit I've got here is the fact, because I've gone for the environmental buildings, everything is looking pretty good. Population is coming here. I mean, people are probably unhappy because I'm not putting in enough rock dwellings for them. I'll put this in here. I'm going to have to give everything a little bit more of a nudge, I think. I think what we can do is just step over like that. And I'm just going to stop like that and come out like that. And we're just going to connect across like that. And actually what I might be able to do is just going to put a road in like that. We'll put a pathway through here. Sorry, I know you've only just moved in, but of course we've got a water shortage, so we're just going to push this out, put that back on, push that out like that. This area should build up, and looking for some other items that we can put in. We got that there. We got, well, we could put in a, that should help the population as well. Can't put anything like that. None of this is ready to go. Health, I don't know what we got. I don't know if I've got what we got here. Community pool, sports gymnasium, medical helicopter depot. My favourite is normally the sauna, but it's not unlocked at the moment. That's 120,000. Wow. 75,000. I don't really want to blow. I mean, medical helicopter would be useful. We got here medical clinic. We don't really need that. Anything else we can put in? Got a basketball court. What we could do is drop one of these up in this corner here. And we've got an angle here which isn't good for, and that will. So this is, yeah, educate more citizens. Yes. The land value factor, I don't know if I can find a higher property. Land value doesn't tend to come in till when you get to the maximum level for the population. So we can just check here. Buildings covered by more services. Yeah, I'm not really particularly that interested in upgrading this, because eventually I'm going to move this away and make it into something that's a bit more cleaner. So we've got a bit of a crime problem over here, which is understandable because my police station is a long way away. So we could just drop in a police station in here as well. And this is the way to drive up your population, is rather than just keep expanding for the residential demand. We got the residential demand, but people are not. Oh, helps if I actually zone everything in, isn't it? So sorry about that, guys. I'm talking too much and not paying attention. What I'm trying to get to is 7,000 for the end of this video. So apologies if I'm going overly long, but I think getting to 7,000 would be quite a good milestone for this video. Just check, yeah, the water's good. So we need another 70 residents. Well, countdown 24, 12. There we are. Big town. Big town is a very important milestone in the growth of your city. One, you get lots and lots of new policies, but more importantly, you now get access to high density residential, commercial and office zones. This then means that you can now take your city to another level. You also get access to saunas as well. So that is a key element, and I've got to do it, guys, because saunas are normally quite cheap. If you drop a sauna into the middle like that, that's why I put this little spur in here. That has a big effect on your city. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. The next part, we will now start to grow out our city and start thinking about a university campus, because I'm pretty sure I just saw that as part of this, yeah, we've now got a trade school campus area. We've now got, so we can now get campus areas, and we maybe we can start to get our first trade school in. But that's all going to be for the next video. This is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.